Hey guys, what's up? This is Nayan here from Barrack Solutions, and today we are going to review the Western Digital N900 Central device. And this particular device acts as a router plus provides us with internal storage, so you can say as a router plus network attached storage, so you can have all your streaming done, you can save your backups, you can do internet stuff and lots of stuff. So we are going to review this device, and let's begin. And we'll begin with the design of this device first. Right in front of us we have the Western Digital MyNet N900 Central, and I've just got one word for this device design, and that is plastic. The build quality is really pathetic, and it does not stand a chance in front of its competitors like the Apple Time Capsule. The build quality of Apple Time Capsule beats this Western Digital device any day, and you really feel robust when you're holding the Apple Time Capsule, but you do not feel anything for this device. You feel as it's one of the most cheapest device that you would expect it to be, but it is really very costly, and the design and the build quality is not worth the price that you're paying for this device. At the front we have got 5 LEDs. One is the power on, power off, second is the Wi-Fi is being broadcasted or not, third is for the internet connectivity, fourth is for the syncing between the device and your router, and the last one is for the storage. At the corner in the front of the device we have a wireless protected setup button, so you can just press it if you want to use this particular feature. At the back we have got gigabit ethernet ports. All are gigabit ethernet ports. The first 4 are for LAN and the last one is for WAN. We have got a USB port, so you can connect your USB devices like a printer and share that particular printer in the whole network, so that's really nice. And we have also got a DC in port, that's for powering the device, and this particular button will power on and power off the device. So basically you have the power supply button, and this is the secondary power on power off button on your device. At the back we have got small exhaust slots, but I don't understand who in the world ever puts these exhaust at the bottom of the device. Now you're gonna keep it on something and the heat is not going to get drained. You put exhaust for draining the excess heat, but over here I don't know why they have put it at the bottom of the device. And we also have a reset button in here, and it's one of the most awkward location again, and it's really difficult to manually reset this device. However, through the software it's quite simple. We have got these 4 rubber pads on this particular device, and it's pretty much the design of the device. And one of the worst part of this device is the front LEDs, and they are super light and you can hardly see it from a distant area in a bright lit room. However, if you are in a pitch dark room you might be able to see it. Currently in the video my camera is on zoom. Let me just zoom out, and you can actually make out that yes, the LEDs are hardly visible whether they are glowing or not. So a user does not come to know whether there is some problem with my Wi-Fi or not. Now this is not the case with Apple Time Capsule, so this is something which I didn't like at all, and that's pretty much the design of this device. The setup for this device is really very simple. You just need to select the Wi-Fi, and when you start it for the first time it will say Western Digital, and just connect to the Wi-Fi. Once you connect to it, type in 192.168.1.1, or if you are on Mac then wd-router.local, and it should open up the WD setup wizard. Click on continue and you should be ready to go. So there we go, we have the dashboard, and you can set up your wireless network and set up almost anything. So it's that simple to connect to your router and set up all your settings. Let's talk about the features of this router. So this particular device can be used as a router or an access point. Second, it's a dual band router, so basically it supports the 2.4 GHz and the 5 GHz spectrum, and you can simultaneously broadcast your Wi-Fi network as well as your guest Wi-Fi network on both these spectrums. Now it supports the protocols 802.11 ABGN, and it claims to provide a transmit rate of 450 megabits on both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. However, on the 2.4 GHz you will get 150, and on 5 gigahertz you'll get 300. So there's a huge drop of the transmit rate, which I found to be very awkward, because Western Digital claims to provide 450 and gives really very low transmit rates. It's got multiple antennas inside this particular device for better coverage, and it's got a new technology named Fast Track Plus Quality of Service, which basically prioritizes the data on your network for better streaming and better output of downloads and uploads. However, I found this technology to be not of any use to me, because I am a very strong user of torrents, and this technology messes up torrents. We also have got parental controls on this particular router, so you can block almost any sort of adult websites and another websites which you want to manually block. It's really helpful for users in the office. And one of the most important thing is it supports the Apple Time Capsule native application for backups. So backing up data through the Apple Time machine is going to be super simple, because it connects through the Apple AFP server, and for Windows you have the Western Digital Smartware application, and it also supports UPnP and DLNA. So all the UPnP and DLNA compatible devices are gonna enjoy streaming data from this device. So there are tons of features, and it's a feature packed device. Let's check out the speed performance. Currently I am on the 5 GHz spectrum, and I'm getting a transmit rate of 300 megabits per second, and I'm dead close. Still the signal strength is just good, it is not excellent. I'm just getting 78%, which is not that great. I should be getting like 80 plus. And now let's go to Speedtest Net to check out the speed. So let's click on begin the test, and it selects a server which is hosted by Reliance Communications, and I'm getting a ping of 42 milliseconds, and the download speed is around 4 megabits. My internet connection is 4 megabits, and I'm getting a download speed of 4.34 megabits, which is pretty good. It's slightly above what my bandwidth is, and the upload speed is coming close to 2 megabits, which is again really good. So there we go, it says 2.01 megabits for the upload and 4.34 for the download. I am a floor down my house, and I have switched to the 2.4 gigahertz band, and I am getting a transmit rate of 1 megabits per second, which is almost close to negligible. And let's try the speed test, and let's have a look whether this router is capable of providing internet at such difficult conditions. And it has started to ping. It is slow at pinging, and that's pretty much because of the transmit rate, which is just 1 megabits per second, and it will definitely take some amount of time to connect to the server. Okay, so it gets connected, and it is giving me 0.6 megabits approximately of download speed, and that's 0.61 for being more accurate. The upload speed is close to 0.6 megabits, so that's pretty good. I'm still getting some amount of speed for at least browsing the internet, and that is really good. So the long distance performance is also good, because I'm getting some amount of speed to actually browse the internet. Let's check out the download performance on torrents, and this time I have not enabled the quality of service, fast track plus quality of service feature, which is provided by this particular device. And I'm in a hypothetical situation, you can say a rare situation, where I'm getting 1 megabyte to 5 megabytes of download speed. This is not possible every time to get, but I'm getting it, and the router is capable of delivering this particular speed. So you can get an idea of this particular router's downloading performance. Let's go back to my own speed, that is the 500 kilobyte range, which I actually usually get, and this router delivers it very poorly because it gives me a download speed right from 400 to 500 kilobytes per second, and there is a lot of fluctuations with my time capsule. That's my Apple time capsule. I never got so much of fluctuations, and I used to many times get more than my bandwidth. So Apple time capsule was way better in performing. I have enabled quality of service. Now let's just check out what speed do I get on uTorrent. So I have a VLC media player torrent being set up on my uTorrent, and it has detected around 4,923 seeds, and I have already got 8 seeds online, but my speed is 0. I'm not getting any speed. When I tried this earlier, I was getting around zero point 0.5 to 1 kilobytes per second. So you can clearly make out that this particular service, Fast Track Plus Quality of Service, messes up with torrents. So it's not good for torrents. However, it's good for browsing. So that's your call whether you want to enable it or not. And this feature just is not right for the person who uses torrent to the core. Let's check out the download speed of Google Chrome, and I'm choosing Google Chrome because it's going to get downloaded from Google servers. So we are going to get a example of what kind of maximum bandwidth speeds that you can get through this router, and what is the drops and differences in speeds. So currently I am getting slightly above my bandwidth, and that is my bandwidth is 500 kilobytes, and I'm getting around 520, which is constantly reducing and coming closer to my bandwidth, and it goes down below my bandwidth. Now if I compare this with my time capsule, I used to get at least 550 to 580 kilobytes per second when I used to download from Google servers, and that time if I didn't touch anything on the internet, that is I didn't do anything on the internet, then I used to constantly get 550 to 580. But as soon as I touched, I used to get around 480. So this particular router directly takes me down to 480, 470. So that's pretty okay, but still really close to my bandwidth, and that's really nice. So the performance is good, it's not bad. Another feature of the router is the parental control settings, and you can set it up on your router, select the router location, and also register the router in order to use this particular feature. You go to the link which Western Digital provides and log in with your registered ID and password. And when you do that, it will show you a list of all the devices that are connected to your router on the network, and it also gives the information about the MAC addresses. So you can block a particular website for a particular device, or block a particular website for all the devices on the network, so through the master settings. And you just need to specify the website that you want to block. All the adult websites are by default blocked because they get the information from the headers and they get blocked. So now let's try visiting my own website, that is techbarrack.com. And as soon as I visit my website, it says that it has been blocked on grounds of parental control policy set up by the administrator of Western Digital router. Now you can override it by typing the password you use to register with Western Digital parental control policy management website. Now if I try some adult website, it gets blocked immediately. And now let's try google.com. Now google.com also got blocked, which I had specified in the list, so that's really nice. So this particular feature works pretty good and I loved it. It's good for a person who is in a company and he wants to prevent his employees from visiting a particular website. Streaming through this device was really very simple, and you just need to connect to the device and it gives you all the data that is stored on this particular device. So I will be streaming a music file first, and there we go. You can see it works perfectly fine, there's no hassles. And when you stream a video, it works perfectly fine. I tried streaming a 720p video on 3 different devices simultaneously, and it did not lag at all. So that was really nice, and that too even after it is supporting 802.11n protocol. And I'm not using the AC protocol because it is not supported. In AC it will definitely work fine, but with the N protocol too, this device does a great job. So that's really nice.
Get it?
Picked it up yesterday.
Did you sleep with it under your pillow?
Oh, I sleep as little your concern.
Yeah, neither is the Yankees batting order.
Backing up through the Western Digital MyNet N900 router was really simple. It supports the native application in Mac, that's Time Machine, and I got a speed of around 4 MB per second while backing up through my Time Machine. Yeah, for Windows, you have a special software which they provide, which is known as the Smart Wave, I suppose, and that's also really simple to set up. So backing up was not at all an hassle on this particular device. If your device is DLNA compatible or UPnP compatible, then you can stream content right from your router to your device. So my television is DLNA compatible, and I'm gonna give you a demo of that. So let's say I'm gonna play some music, and immediately it detects my router, that's 1 TB. However, your device will be able to play only those files which your device supports. Even though your router may be having tons of files, but if your router does not if your television or your device does not support a particular file format, it will not detect it only. So let's say I go to all music and I play this mp3 file. You can see it works perfectly fine. Now I also have a FLAC file on my router, but it's not getting detected, and that's because my device does not support FLAC. Let's try playing some video. So you can see it works perfectly fine. It detects the file format and streams it properly. So DLNA works really well on this device. Let's have a look at the WD2Go application for Android first. So I'm in my router's internal storage, and let's try playing some video first. Now there might be certain hiccups in my video, and that might be because of my low RAM on my device. You can see it's loading up very slow because it's a 1080p file, and I'm using Samsung Galaxy S, which does not support 1080p. Now let's try playing a 720p file so that you get an idea. You can see it works much better. And now let me just try playing a music file. Sorry, let's play the mp3 file. You can see it works perfectly fine. Let's have a look at the iPad application, and there are certain limitations in iPad, and that's because of Apple and not because of WD, and that's basically the difference between the iPad and the Android application. So I am inside the internal storage of my router. Let's try playing a video, and you can see for the mp4 file it shows me that it can play. For the parker.mkv file it cannot play because mkv is not supported on iPad. Now let me just give you a demo of the mpeg4 file. and it starts loading up. There you go, it starts playing, and I've got the scroll bar at the bottom, so I can just scroll if I want to, and it takes quite a lot of time to load up. I'm using iPad 1, and let's say it is sleep, and you can see it works perfectly fine and it's loading up faster. So the startup is slow, but then it's fast. Now let's try playing a music file, and it works perfectly fine. Again, FLAC is not supported on the iPad, so it's not going to play it. You can see it works fine. So I think you pretty much get what I'm trying to say. You can just stream content on your devices with the help of your router. So what do I think about this device? At the end, I would just say that this device is not worth the money. In India, you will get a 2TB model of this device for 22,000 rupees approximately, and that's too costly for this device. That's what I feel. The build quality is really poor, but this device is great at features. So if you are looking at a feature packed device, then this device is for you. But I would rather go for a separate 802.11 AC protocol supported Wi-Fi router and a separate network attached storage which can provide me at least 4TB to 6TB, and that will approximately cost me around like 25,000. So that's much better deal for me than buying this particular device, because network attached storage will give me more features, much better performance, much better build quality, and build quality is utmost importance to me because it makes me believe that yes, this device will at least work for long time. It will be long lasting device. It won't be a short term device. So this device is not worth 22,000 rupees. So I would give it a 3.5 on 5 stars, and that's my review. What's your review? Post it in the comment section below, and please rate, comment, subscribe and visit techbarrack.com.